Chapter 6, Lesson 2, the zero principle. So when adding integers, one method you can use is called the zero principle. Now, first thing we have to know is what is an opposite integer. So an opposite integer is two integers that are the same distance away from the zero. So an example would be like positive 6 and negative 6. And a zero principle tells us that opposite integers when added equal 0. So in the same example, positive 6 plus negative 6 would equal 0. So since we know that, if we wanted to add this row, and we know that blue was equal to negative 1, and red we said was equal to positive 1. Therefore, we can add these integers using the zero principle, and we know that this is negative 1, negative 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, positive 1, positive 1. Now, if we know that the zero principle says that any opposite integers would equal 0, that means that we can take a negative 1 and a positive 1, and we know that will equal 0. We can take a negative 1 and a positive 1, and that will equal 0. A positive 1 and a negative 1, that will equal 0. A negative 1 and a positive 1, that will equal 0. And a negative 1 and a positive 1, and that will equal 0. So by creating zeros, we have gotten rid of all of these integers, except for one of them. What are we left with? We are left with one blue counter, or one negative 1 integer. So this answer would be negative 1. If you wanted to show it in a math sentence, you would just group your negatives and positives together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive numbers. So we have positive 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative counters. And we know that with the zero principle and opposite integers, if we wanted to make this positive 5 into the zero principle, we could split up our negative 6 into negative 5 and negative 1. The negative 5 and the positive 5 would equal 0. And we have 0 plus negative 1. And our answer would be negative 1, which is the same as using our counters. Thank you.